Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're unpacking the controversy behind Gypsy Rose Blanchard's new series, Life After Lockup. In one of the most shocking crimes of the 2010s, Blanchard pled guilty to second-degree murder in the death of her mother, Dee Dee. A victim of Munchausen by proxy syndrome, Gypsy was physically, emotionally, and medically controlled by Dee Dee her entire life.
Gypsy was Dee Dee's daughter, but also her prisoner.
I wanted that life that I was living to be over.
She was sentenced in 2016, though the context behind the slaying led to a nationwide free Gypsy movement. While behind bars, Gypsy's cult following turned her into a viral meme, a victim to rally behind, and a cultural icon.
This woman is iconic. She's a legend.
Supporters eagerly counted down to her December 2023 release.
This is insane. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is getting out of prison.
But now, after finishing a 7-year prison stint, Sweet Gypsy Rose's release party has turned sour. With rumors about her chaotic new life swirling for months, Life After Lockup aims to answer burning questions about Gypsy's concerning transition to the real world, like her peculiar social media presence, hasty marriage, and subsequent divorce. Through this 8-part series, we'll finally get a more introspective look at the woman whose actions divided the country. So what have we learned so far, and what is Gypsy hoping to get out of her latest TV deal? Here's everything you need to know about Gypsy's controversial new show, and whether it seems to be altering her image for better or worse.
Okay, you know my story. All right, now let's see what I do with my life.
The two sides of Gypsy. There have always been two dominant public perceptions of Gypsy: Gypsy the victim and Gypsy the perpetrator.
This has been very controversial. Some people believe that she should not have gotten any time. Some people believe she should have gotten more time.
There's no denying she suffered unimaginable anguish at the hands of her own mother, creating this idea of Gypsy as a wounded young girl who did what she had to do to survive.
Her daughter was in essence a hostage. And I think we can understand the crime that occurred subsequently in terms of a hostage trying to gain escape.
On the flip side, there's the shadow of the manipulative and unpredictable Gypsy, who baited her lover, Nick Godejohn, into killing her mother, and who can't be trusted.
I think it's most anybody's instinct. Oh shit, you murdered your mother, you know? Watch that girl. Don't turn your back, she might stab you.
When it was announced that she would star in yet another Lifetime show, this time documenting her life after prison, there was a mixture of cheers and groans. While many were morbidly curious and eager to watch, others saw it as a cash grab by a convicted criminal who shouldn't be afforded public attention or adoration.
I think she's gonna make decisions, good and bad, in other ways, like all of us, and I give her so many passes for
murdered her mom.
But owning...
She did do the time, but...
She did, but my point here is, I wonder if it's put in the same situation...
Moreover, the new series could be regarded as yet another in a line of recent shows that profit from a heinous crime, while bolstering the perpetrator as a potentially likable figure. Regardless of which camp you fall into, there's still the question of why a woman who's finally experiencing true freedom and deserves privacy would consent to a reality show. This certainly isn't the first time Gypsy's past is being rehashed. The 2019 Hulu series The Act served as a dramatized account of Gypsy's life and crime, and she was very vocally against it, stating that she, quote, wasn't consulted or paid for the show, and that it negatively affected her life in prison. It's logical, then, that she would want to right these wrongs through her own testimonies, which she's done in a series of prison interview specials.
I will finally share my story the way that it should be shared.
When asked why she allowed a fleet of cameras to follow her in Life After Lockup, she insists that she's outgrown the image of Gypsy the prisoner and is ready for the next chapter.
Ever since my case was all over the media, all over the news, people have been on this journey with me.
Eager to speak her truth on her terms, she even penned a book in prison and plans to release another memoir in the future.
I want to be Gypsy Rose Blanchard, a survivor, an advocate for people that have been through what I have been through, and I want to be someone that my family could be proud of.
However, Gypsy's wishful idea of who she would be post-release didn't entirely pan out yet, and her new persona began to shake up public perception once again. Gypsy's release was highly publicized, with fans clamoring for every new paparazzi photo of her out in the world. but it wouldn't be long before a whole slew of supporters turned on her. One of the first major critiques she received was in response to the way she took to social media.
Sharing my story was a very selfless thing that I feel like I'm doing, and there was never any intentions of wanting the fame aspect of it.
This claim that fame was never in the equation has come under fire considering the endless stream of deals and appearances Gypsy has under her belt. Even if the goal was to advocate for other survivors, most of her early days on social media involved selfies, clapbacks at haters, and salacious comments about her sex life.
Can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now. I'm living my best life, and y'all can't take that from me.
And the D is
fire.
On her Instagram, she told her followers, quote, "I thought that once I got out of prison, I'd come out and I'd enjoy social media like the next person, taking selfies of myself in the mirror and just acting goofy and everything." Though this seems innocent, fans were quick to police her pages with demands of how to conduct herself online. This is ironic, considering many of these followers had been cheering on her life as a free woman just weeks before. Gypsy had essentially been goaded into becoming a social media star, then blasted for earning influencer status overnight.
Some people might hide from the spotlight, but you're going in a different direction.
Sometimes I kind of feel like I have no choice.
What do you mean by that? Certainly you have choice. You don't have to post.
In a sense, she's right, because the public was never going to leave her alone. While locked up, many constructed a fantastical vision of who Gypsy would be, then lashed out every time she didn't fit their idea of a proper post-release persona. But how should a woman who was abused, conspired to kill her abuser, served prison time, had TV shows created about her, became a tabloid sensation, and was forced into the spotlight really act? In reality, this tightrope walk was impossible. Be free, but be modest. Be proud, but be regretful. Be open, but be guarded. Be evocative, but not provocative. Eventually, Gypsy's comment sections were flooded by detractors singing the same song as her original skeptics. Talks of a divorce from her husband Ryan Anderson generated accusations that she had used him, likely in a confirmation of allegations that she used Nick.
I do think Gypsy is potentially dangerous. Dee Dee was a master manipulator, and it's impossible that Gypsy would not have picked this up and used it.
Pictures of her fresh nose job enraged followers who viewed this desire for cosmetic surgery as another vain bid for stardom, afforded by the money she earned through murder podcasts and network deals. Followers reprimanded her for being annoying, grating, and overexposed, as if they had no part in generating all of this interest about her in the first place. Tired of being under a microscope, Gypsy wiped all of her social media.
I could give a F about a following.
Though she has since re-emerged to advertise her latest show, Gypsy Rose: Life After Lockup. So what's happened so far in the series, and will it put her back in good graces or serve as the last straw? An early series recap. Life After Lockup kicks off with Gypsy's final days in prison. During the premiere, we're introduced to her then-husband Ryan, who had previously received some public ire for involving himself with a deeply vulnerable woman.
fanboying, huh?
Well, at that point, I guess I was.
Despite many finding it creepy or perhaps advantageous that he'd fall for an infamous felon, they confidently profess their undeniable love for each other.
Her story, just hit me. And I thought, gosh, she's cute.
He calms almost like a storm that's inside my soul.
When they're reacquainted out in the real world, it's fireworks.
Oh, I missed you.
I miss you too.
But also a bit awkward.
That's so hot. I'm actually love on you now.
It's to be expected given their situation, and they take time to question what their life together will actually be like.
What if I snore?
Well, then we gotta get a divorce right away.
She innocently gushes over her first cell phone and is giddy to buy new shoes, but during their outing, they're immediately confronted by paparazzi.
Who is that? It's people we don't know.
It's a swift reminder that a life of notoriety comes at a cost, and the public's hunger for Gypsy content can't be sated.
We're being followed. Can't we, call the police?
Hey, Dad. We're being followed by media right now.
It's also acknowledged that because she's under parole, she's still accountable to the Department of Corrections, an obstacle she will repeatedly contend with.
She is going home today, but she is not free yet.
Her reunion with her family is bittersweet, but in the second episode, there's a sense that Gypsy isn't truly prepared for the real world's challenges, and the shadow of her mother is still looming over her. She's infantilized in a way by both her parole officers, who are just doing their job, and her family, who are just being protective.
It's like she's a newborn baby, and I don't want anything to hurt her.
Having been sheltered her whole life, Gypsy begins to resent the way others try to shield her.
I'm not stupid. You don't have to talk to me like I'm stupid.
Meanwhile, Ryan's intentions become blurred as he continues to complain about one or two paparazzi following them, while simultaneously filming his every move for Lifetime and telling strangers who he's with.
This is Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Hi.
He also pushes against any mention of Gypsy's ex Ken, and even begins to badmouth her family.
I have been waiting a long time to be with her. So is her family. And I know they're probably a little jealous that I got a lot of her time.
It's hinted at that this desire to control a woman who once lived as a puppet could spark their marital issues.
Being home with Gypsy is great. I got her to myself.
You're hovering. Thank you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. What's next in the saga? What's perhaps most tragic about Gypsy's story is that she went from Dee Dee's pawn to state prisoner to tabloid specimen for the public to prop up, tear down, pick apart, and psychoanalyze.
I do not feel free right now. I feel like I am in a different form of prison.
Given the circumstances, it's doubtful she'll ever have a fully normal life, but she now has an opportunity to live as the woman she truly wants to be. It's to be expected that she'll make new mistakes as she navigates a difficult and at times unwelcoming world.
I am kind of rushing into things, wanting to do everything all at once.
She's 30 years old. She's making 17, 18-year-old person type decisions.
Though she carries an unprecedented amount of baggage and trauma, a positive breakthrough is possible with the right support.
There will be bumps in the road, but that's what she has family for.
I just want her to be happy.
What does the right support look like, though? And is she getting it? Unfortunately, the Life After Lockup season trailer teases a lot of turmoil. Struggles with self-image, breakdowns from attackers online, battles with Ryan, and a shocking reunion with her ex-fiancé Ken.
I've never been on camera before talking about anything like this.
I need to have faith that she will always come back.
The sensationalized reality TV nature of the show plays on the explosive drama in her personal life, which doesn't seem like the kind of attention Gypsy needs during her healing process.
I'm human. I'm not a character.
Even if she invited the cameras in, there's no guarantee that the story the editors tell will ultimately line up with her goals when signing on. As of now, it's unclear whether these developments will garner Gypsy some lost sympathy or pile on to her villain era. But if there's one takeaway we should all be looking for, it's Gypsy's candid wishes of how she expects to be treated and what she hopes tomorrow brings.
I want to live a simple life that everybody else takes for granted. This is my evolution.
Do you think it was a good or bad idea for Gypsy to participate in Life After Lockup? Share your thoughts below. Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.